Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at another One Piece figure. This is the Portrait of Pirates Roronoa Zoro 10th limited version. Now, I believe that this was a special anniversary figure released quite some time ago, because we're up to the 25th anniversary of One Piece, so I can only imagine that 10th limited either means 10 years of the brand or 10 years of the anime. I'm hoping it's of the brand, but given the quality of this figure, I imagine it is 10 years of the brand. But this is a Mega House figurine. This is pre-time skip Zoro, and there aren't a lot of good-looking ones of that design out there. So I hunted this one down, and I thought it'd be cool to get pre-time skip Straw Hats. Now, Zoro is one of my favourite characters in One Piece, and while he did become one of my favourites pre-time skip, he didn't start out as my favourite, and I felt like it took a little bit of growing and understanding his jokes and his serious fights to really get a grasp of the character. But he's definitely one of the best characters in the entirety of this franchise, even if he has one of the weakest backstories in general. So taking a quick look at the box, you can see the window into the figure as well as promo images all along the front, sides and back. And you get a couple options with this figure, which is nice. And while there is stuff lacking, I do think overall it's pretty good, especially if you have other Zoro figures to supplement. So out of the box, he's got two heads, as well as a bandana accessory. So this is for when he's got the bandana on or off. So if he's got it off, it's sort of tied up on his sleeve, and it's cool that you can swap that out. He comes with two swords, and I don't know the names of them. I don't really pay attention too much to Zoro's swords, unfortunately, except the Wado Ichimoji. So I know that one of them is special, but I think the other one is just a standard katana. Not like one of the rare blades or anything like that. But it is cool nonetheless. And it is a shame that you can't have him wielding all three. It is a massive missed opportunity. It's a pretty standardish thing to do with Zoro figures as well, but massive missed opportunity that he can't wield all three. But at least he is wielding two. Now, taken out of the box, you can see how the Zoro looks, and I think it's a pretty faithful recreation of his pre-time skip design. He does seem lankier than sort of the later figures that I'm used to, where he's a bit more bulky. And while he is muscly here, he does have a sort of like streamlined, slim looking appearance, which I quite like. And I think that has to do with the actual outfit design itself. So he's got a white shirt with some nice shading. He's got that big green weird sash around his waist. He's got his dark sort of cargo-y pants, as well as his high boots. And it's a simple design, but it works really, really well. I do like that this sort of reads more as the Pirate Hunter Zoro for like his first appearance. So he's got the bandana on his head as standard, and I like the sort of dark, shady appearance that gives him. All of the detailing is pretty on point with this. There's quite a bit of shading and some really nice attention to detail. Everything looks clean. I really like the paintwork that's done on the actual special katana, and both katanas look really good, as well as all of the sheaths and hilts. But I especially like the detail work that they've done on the blades. The shading on his muscles and clothes all look good. Even his little gold earring looks really, really clean. The only thing I'd say is the shade of green that they've chosen for his hair is just a little bit too washed out. Like, I wish it was just a little bit more saturated and a little bit brighter. And it makes him look serious, which I like, but I don't think it really suits the color palette of One Piece quite so much. And in general, this figure just seems quite serious. But all around, this figure just screams quality. He is a little bit tricky to assemble because I didn't really realize how to put the katanas in at first, so the very bottom part of the hilt can come out, and then you can just slot them in, but they do have a bit of resistance, and I don't know if that's due to the age of the figure itself. Because this figure is a bit old, I don't remember exactly when it came out, but I do know that it's enough that the aftermarket is annoying. So you get an option part for Zoro, which is his bandana on his arm, and his alternate head part, which is him without the bandana. And they work together pretty well. I do like how the arm just slots off and the bandana just slides in. It completes the look pretty much perfectly, and I think it's the best way to do it, besides like creating a separate shorter arm entirely. And each head just slots on pretty easily. And while I like the expression of the alternate face of Zoro, I don't think it really reads as Zoro, because I'm sort of used to a more wide face and a little bit more of a sinister grin. I do, like I said, think that the expression reads as him, but I don't think the face does read as him, if that makes sense. And again, the hair problem that I had where I don't think it's the right colour is more prevalent here. It does seem a little bit too washed out, it's not bright enough. And I do also think that the hairstyle isn't correct. And I think that might also just be due to the head shape, because I think it's just a little bit slimmer than it should be. I think the face should be a bit wider to match the sort of One Piece style that I'm used to. But overall, it's still really good, and in different lighting conditions, the figure does really pop. And while I don't see any other new pre-time skip Zoros on the horizon, I think this one is a really, really good one to fit into a Portrait of Pirates collection, because there aren't that many good pre-time skip figures out there, so I'll make do with what I have. Gonna put him right next to pre-time skip Chopper and Nami, and hopefully we'll get some others at some point soon. But yeah, just another really solid figure, nothing too crazy. I do like simple option parts that don't change things too much, and this one's a pretty good one. I am going to keep him with the Pirate Hunter bandana on, because I think it looks way better aesthetically, and I don't like the alternate face as much. And I think it would look nice on a display, having that version of Zoro with a more modern version of Zoro without the bandana and the 3 swords in his mouth. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you all next time.